When you need a mortgage, don't stress at all. Just tune right in and give these guys.
Good morning, YouTube. Today is Tuesday, October 21st. We are less than 2 weeks away from the chili cook-off. It looks like Tom is already prepared to lose the trophy because he has taken it away from his background. How we doing, boys?
Good morning.
Doing well. I actually had to take it up to the shop. It's getting polished right now. They're putting some extra late, I don't know if you want to call it Vaseline, on the top of the trophy to make it all shiny.
Yes, very excited. November 1st is our second annual West Penn Chili Cook-Off, so we hope to see everyone there. Anthony, little chilly outside. How long are we going to see you out there?
I don't know, man. I kind of like the cold, but we'll see how long this lasts. I might have to take this indoors sooner than later. So,
Tom, maybe we start a block poll.
I mean, he built that nice studio up for this show, like in his one room, specifically for this show, and we haven't seen it once yet. So I can't wait to see the studio when he does go inside.
Yeah, that's no filter right there. That's Anthony's backyard. So yeah, everyone, we are rocking and rolling on a Tuesday morning. Last week, we showed you that newest calculator in the app, the TrueValue Report. Now today, we're going to get into the weeds a little bit for you guys. We're going to show you how to make the report. And like anything in the app, it is very, very, very important that you as the agent put the proper information in the app so the items that come out are correct. If they're not correct, it's probably user error. So we can't be blowing through this. We got to use what God gave us, our eyeballs. We got to read a little bit, and we got to make sure we put the right numbers in the right places, or else your report will not be correct.
Yeah, a lot. And it's just basically paying attention, watching where we put things in, and plug and chug method, as we learned back in probably middle school. Just plug and chug your way through it. What we see is about 95% of the time on this app, it is user error if you are getting something wrong or something looks off. So pay attention, ask us questions. We're more than happy to help. I know I have a few people out there that, have a little bit of tech issues with this, and we're working on those, but 95% of the time, it's just plug and chug and figuring out what's going on.
Yep. I mean, Anth, this is almost easier than a multiple answer test in high school, right? Multiple choice. You always went with C, obviously. But this one, it's even easier. Plug and chug. It's not that hard. But again, we have folks that want to rush through it and then complain when it doesn't work properly. So that's why we just want to sit here, take a breath, take 5 minutes, go through this. Hey, even practice a couple times before you go out and use it with a client, right, Anth?
yeah, I mean, it's definitely 99% user error, like Tom said. So watch what you're doing, enter the information in. It's going to give you a solid report based on the data that you already have based on the listing that you're listing. So enter it in, take your time. At the end, you'll see a very nice report you can share.
And before we get into it, a lot of these new items are going to be in the calculator section. That's what the app developers named it. They're not all necessarily calculators, but that's the section they're in. So if you use the app a lot, if you've been in the buyers tab, if you've been in the seller tab, we know those get used extensively, but you've never ventured over into the calculator tab. That's where you're going to see the true value analysis. That's where you're going to see a lot of these high level tools that we believe are giving you access to items that will put you ahead of your competition in the market.
Yeah, 100%. Let's bust into it.
All right, Anth, let's dive on in. So first things first, like I said, before I let Tom get started, this is the true value analysis. It is in the calculator tab. If you have no idea how to use this, if you don't want to listen to us, hit this play button. It will pull up a video of explaining how the true value analysis works. Again, before I let Tom get started, the first item you'll see is to add an address. I don't ever trust anything that's automatic. If you add the address, it's going to automatically put in the property taxes. We all know that they're grossly incorrect a lot. I would rather you calculate the taxes yourself. Tom, what do you say?
Yeah, 100%. I always tell everybody that you should be doing the taxes on your own. A lot of agents will tell me that they use Realist, and Realist is realistically pretty wrong all the time. So I think that you should be, if you get a listing and somebody's trusting you to, sell their $400,000 house and have you make a $15,000 commission, I think you should be calculating their taxes, which only take a minute. That's just part of the job and part of the gig. So if you don't know how to calculate taxes, we could do an episode on that as well. But busting into this true value range, that's kind of where we want to start. Everything starts with the range of the price home. So the market price of the home is where you actually think that home is going to sell for. So why don't we just start, just for simple math, Ryan, why don't we just put 400,000 in there for the market price?
We can do that.
Low end, that house, if not much offers come through, that we're looking at 375 that house is eventually going to end up selling for. And how about on the high end? We got multiple offers. Let's get a 425 on there. Perfect. And that just kind of shows you where that home can go, high end, low end. I'm sure as you go on listing appointments, you're showing that seller some of those different ranges.
And
loan balance.
I was going to say, Tom, this part here, and Anth, you can even jump in whenever. You may not know this part, right? You may not know your seller if they have a current loan balance. That's fine, but this is going to calculate interest and also calculate, their balance off of their net. So we want you to be as most accurate as possible with this, but we understand you may not know your seller's current balance and or interest rate.
I mean, I would tell them to ask for the mortgage statement, so if they have a mortgage on it, they're doing all the legwork anyway to do a CMA, et cetera. So ask them for a copy of their mortgage statement so you can see what their rate is as well as their loan balance. They're doing a seller net sheet, so you're going to need that to do a seller net sheet. So
very valid, Anthony. What are we going to throw in here, boys?
Throw 200 in there for us.
What rate do you want, Thomas?
Let's go 6% rate. All right, so then down here, this is the next section, and this is very important as well. It's their holding cost, what it costs every month for them to keep that house while it is not selling. For the property taxes, we're going to use the yearly property tax amount. Let's use $6,000 a year, Ryan, which would be $500 a month. For insurance, you're going to do yearly insurance. Again, leave that at $1,200 a month or $100 a month. That's perfect right there in that section. These next sections down here, if it is an HOA where they're living in a condo, townhome, you need to put that is where you enter. And you could see that you could enter it annually or monthly. Again, you have to pay attention and you have to enter it correctly. Underneath that are some utilities. And this is the information that you're going to be asking that seller before you list their home so you could properly calculate their holding costs. So you need to figure out what all their bills are. You could either ask the seller this, or you could ask for all their statements and figure it out yourself. That is going to be your choice, but ultimately you're going to have to calculate these numbers and put them in here. So on these, Ryan, these are all monthlies. So why don't we just put 100 in all electric, 100 in gas. I believe internet's about $900 a month right now, but put 200 in there for now.
I'd probably bump up that electric bill though.
yeah, we could bump it up. I was just using easy numbers.
All right,
here.
we'll throw 300. Anthony likes to keep the air condition going. What's water? $50 a month.
Yep, and you're gonna calculate whatever you put in there. I know as I've went through some of the offices that I cover, that I just always put 100 in all of these just to show you. But again, that's specific to every buyer in every specific community in their house. Maintenance costs, that could just be stuff that it costs you to keep that house up and running, stable. And then there could be any additional utilities that we do not have there, as well as you could add more if there is a laundry list of stuff that they do pay every month. going down from there, we got some of our assumptions. How
And Tom,
much? Go ahead.
Tom, this assumption part, if you don't pay attention to the assumption part, you could have major percentages wrong. So this is very important as well to make sure that you fill this out correctly.
100%. And, we do trust you to fill it out correctly, being able to get that 3% for your client. We trust that you know how to do it correctly on this. So making sure you are getting paid. So you're going to enter the loan type there first. We have conventional under there. Seller broker fee and buyer broker fee. This is what you've negotiated when you went to list a house. How much is each side getting paid? Is the buyer getting paid anything from the seller? Is it going to be zero? Where is it coming from? This needs to be entered properly. I know some of you guys like to do 2.5, 2.5. Some like to do 3 and 2. Some are still doing 3 and 3. Nice people out there, but that is going to need to be entered correctly.
Absolutely. I would say these two are going to be your biggest problem. Even if this is marked incorrectly, it has to be who's paying it. If it's marked incorrectly, the app only knows what you tell it. It's not going to say, oops, you did that incorrect. Let's change it for you.
Yeah, because it's a different situation at that point. And everything in there is for a different situation. So right here, you could seller's assist, that seller's concession, whatever you want to do. And then the reduction piece, that is if you are going to have to reduce the price of the home on this. Most of the time, people are going to reduce it by that 5%. Some people were just like, hey, let's reduce it by 15,000. They make a set number. But looking at it, typically is about 5% reduction is where we see. And then transfer tax also needs to be imported correctly, knowing where they're selling the home from. Hit that compute button.
All right.
And as you can see,
yeah,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, Anth, once you hit the compute, like anything, you're gonna get to an important screen, but you're not finalized yet. But this screen here is where agents can kind of customize what they're looking at, right?
Yeah, I mean, they could tweak certain things. They could tweak the low price, the high price, how many months to close, which will change the bottom line net at closing for the seller to give them a different view, if they want to see different options based on how long it may sit for and or a price reduction, difference between 5%, 10%, whatever that ends up being.
So, of course, this is awesome, right? You have the true value. You have the market stats. If you want to go in here and put, Pittsburgh, PA, or whatever you want to do to make sure you get the local data to go with the national data. You got the timing part of it that shows you how to understand timing. But what we see is the one problem we see is once agents get to this part, everyone gets excited. All right, we got this chart that looks amazing. If you just hit share or print PDF, it's only going to show you one little piece. That's not the TrueValue report. You need to hit the TVA report to make sure you get to the TrueValue analysis report. Otherwise, you're going to get to the wrong section. And here you go. One click of the button, your report is made. And one thing I like on the side here, like always, we got a couple different options. If you don't like the way that version looks, have this one pop up. Oh, you don't like the way this color is? Let's change it to this color. You can update this report however you would like. And I'll scroll through here if you want to kind of talk. And it builds the beautiful true value analysis right there for you, just like we were talking about, to show your sellers.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely can customize it to their branding and how they want it to look based on the branding that they have chosen, for their other materials. So, but it's definitely a detailed report. It's only 5 pages, so it's not a lot. Even if you wanted to print it out 2-sided, there you go. You just shorten how many pieces of paper you're using, but it's a valid report that's going to give your sellers exactly what they're looking for. Data and numbers that are going to be as up to date as they possibly can.
I mean, it is a great, great, great report for listing agents. that you can make directly from your computer or your phone to add on to whatever you already have. I mean, we're just over the moon about this. And I know we spend a lot of time with buyer's agents, but again, with our app just keeping evolving and evolving and evolving, this listing presentation, we really believe, I'm going to stop sharing now, is going to put us and put you guys ahead of the rest. So, I mean, if you guys have any questions, we're all here. We beg, we plead, we want to help. So if you have any questions while you're making your report, give any West Penn loan officer a call, give us a call. We will help you, but use it because it's there for you and it's an excellent tool.
Yep. We're always here to help.
Facts.
All right, boys. Great job. We will see you Friday. Come to the Chili Cook-Off November 1st. Come to the Berkshire Convention on the 30th or whatever it is. And we'll see everyone Friday.
Later, boys.
See you guys.
Tom, Ryan, and